Hi, my name is Anna Russ, and this is my audience. Okay. One out of every 8 women will develop anorexia, bulimia, or an eating disorder. I have 8 people here today, and if they are all women, the statistic says that 1 person in this room would have an eating disorder. And to me, I think that's a horrible statistic. That's just it's just sad. And this topic is starting to gain a lot of media attention. And who are they blaming for it? They're blaming the media. Women are constantly being told that they have to be a certain height, certain shape, and certain weight. And then, it's not necessarily that, it's not ever verbal most of the time. Most of the time it's through just different magazines, different TV ads, and different TV shows, and just anything that you see now. And then in reality, very few women actually meet today's standards of beauty that are defined by the media. According to the Westminster College, research has shown that constant exposure to thin models fosters body image concerns and disordered eating in females. I got my opening statement from Glamour magazine, this month's issue. And I think it's really ironic that Glamour did a presentation, an article all about these different women and their eating concerns and the fact that they've been battling different types of eating disorders. And I looked through the magazine just to see whether any model was a plus size model. And there's not one in here. There is 374 pages of all the same height, different hair colors, but generally they look the same weight. And I just think that's kind of sad if you're going to do an article but you don't support differentiality. And approximately 1,000, and the statistic said 1,000 people each year die of anorexia nervosa. And then 1 out of every 10 college women suffer from a clinical or nearly clinical eating disorder. And according to the Center of Mental Health Services, 90% of people with eating disorders are between the ages of 12 and 25. And so that's a really young age demographic. And I just feel like this is such a sad thing, and it's such a sad reality that that not necessarily everybody takes seriously. And I feel like people get looked down a lot for having an eating disorder, and maybe that not everyone gets the attention that they need for it. And so I feel like this is something that definitely should be changed, that we need to start treating this like the problem that it really is, and to start fixing it. And a lot of people say that there are problems, but then what do they do to fix it? And I'm telling you now that there is a serious problem, but what can we do to fix it? According to this mirrormirror.org, we can notify advertisers of different magazines, different programs, TV programs, movies, and say that we don't like what we're seeing. We're the viewer. We're the ones that really do necessarily have the power. We can change this, and we just need to let them know that we're not satisfied, that we understand that there are tall and naturally thin people, but that there are also different shapes that are just as beautiful, and that we need to accept that. And another thing that we can do is to start just pay attention to the media exposure itself. If a show or a magazine like Glamour only puts thin models in it, we don't have to buy the magazine. We don't have to support it. We don't have to say that we're going to buy this, and we can affect change that way. And then another way to start change, and several, not necessarily people, but just organizations themselves have been starting to change their view on thinness. France has adopted a controversial bill that helps fight against eating disorders, and this bill would be making it illegal to promote public thinness or unhealthy methods of dropping dress sizes. So that means no magazines where only thin people are shown, or just anorexic people are shown. And then in Spain and I believe it's Italy, they are banning models if they're too thin, if they're under a certain weight, and it looks unnatural. They ban them from walking in their shows. their fashion shows. And so those are just some simple things that we can do to start affecting change. You can tell people that you don't agree with this, and then look for warning signs. If you see people that are struggling with an eating disorder, take it seriously and just provide help and show you're there. And there are so many programs out there now that you can help get involved with, and give some support. And so that was just my message today, is to start taking things seriously. It's a very big issue, and it's something that we can be a part of and help to change.